me to, whatever. We here. You know what I'm talking about? We live. You feel me? Hey, all the games of the SEC that been played for the day. You feel me? And a lot of teams then got smacked around today. You feel me? And some teams got exposed today on national, just in front of everybody. You understand what I'm saying? It was a great day for football. The Georgia Bulldogs came into the SEC and handled business. They are the reigning defending SEC champions of the world, Craig, not just of the conference, but of the world, Craig. And they handled business like they were supposed to today. But I can't say so. I can't say that for a couple of other SEC teams today. Particularly, let's start at the top. So, my boy Archie Manning. What up with him? You know what I'm talking about? Everybody thought that he was just supposed to be this big Heisman candidate coming into the conference this year and was just going to roll. You know what I'm talking about? Quinn Ewers in the NFL. So this was Archie Manning's team to take into the future. And he just completely laid an egg out there on that field. I'm talking about that first 3 quarters. It was pretty bad for my boy, man. I ain't going to hold you. I'm sitting up here looking at these highlights of the game, and I'm just like, ugh, what happened? Why'd you do that? You should have just stayed home. You know what I'm talking about? You probably should have just let Quinn Ewers play the game for you because today wasn't your day. Today was just not your day. You understand what I'm saying? Archie Manning has a lot to get together. Just being in that big house, it was something Archie Manning was not prepared for the day. That's the best way I can put it. Archie Manning was not prepared for the day. He wasn't prepared for that noise. He wasn't prepared for how much faster it was going to be. It was just too much for him. It was just too much. And then on top of that, Steve Sarkisian didn't really want to take the skirt off of Archie Manning out there today. He didn't want to take the training wheels off of him. Archie Manning was out there putting himself in positions that he didn't need to be in. He gave up an interception. He had the ball skipping across the turf. He just had a noodle arm out there today. It wasn't the Archie Manning that we was expecting to be seeing, that all the analysts have been raving about. You know what I'm talking about? He was supposed to come out there and put up 400 yards, 6 tubs. Yeah, I mean, he's just supposed to go off. And he didn't. Ohio State still got a championship defense, that is for certain. I don't like Ohio, but they beat Texas. Yeah, I mean, I got a little biases in me. I'm not gonna hold you. I got a little biases in me when it comes to the SEC, and I expect the SEC to win all the time. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm expecting the SEC to win every game. I don't care if it's Texas, Ohio, Alabama versus Florida State. Oops, my bad. Let's go ahead and talk about Alabama today. What up with that? What Alabama had going on today? You know what I'm talking about? They just didn't have a chance in hell today. The closest they got was 7 points within the fourth quarter, but then Florida State put it off in the end zone again. So it was just a combination of seeing Texas and Alabama just get shellacked today, that it wasn't the best time to be an SEC fan. You know what I'm talking about? What's going on, Braden Pond? What up, Helene? Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for popping in. What up, Coco? What up, Jonathan Skitsky? We live over here on YouTube and TikTok, man. We talking about today's festivities. If you got a question that you want to throw at me, go ahead and throw it at me. Right now, we discussing Alabama and Florida State. What happened? Why did it happen? And how can Alabama do something about it? This isn't the Alabama that we're used to seeing. Of course, you know, Nick Saban's gone. He's not coming back. He's not going to be coming back, walking through those doors and saving anybody anytime soon. Jalen Milroe is in the NFL in Seattle doing God knows what with them. So what does Alabama do? What do they do? The quarterback they had today, it wasn't the best day for him, I would say. I didn't catch the whole game because I was flipping back and forth between the Georgia and Marshall game and between the Alabama-Florida State game because the Georgia-Marshall game just got out of hand. It just got out of hand. You know what I'm talking about? The Georgia Bulldogs, they are the standard in the SEC. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. Georgia is the standard in the SEC. And Nope. You know what I'm talking about? It was just a shellacking today for Georgia. 45-7. You know what I'm talking about? We did exactly what we were supposed to do. Everybody else was just struggling against these teams. I know everybody want to say we just played Marshall. It's the first game of the season. We just played Marshall. Y'all didn't play anybody. Sounds like a bunch of hoopla to me. I'm not gonna hold you. Sounds like a lot of hoopla because my team did what they were supposed to do and they handled business. You understand what I'm saying? They handled business. They rolled on their lesser opponent. And where was Alabama at today? I'm about to crunk my Butler. What? I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm trying to crunk my buckler. Okay. Does that have something to do with the game? I don't get what you're getting at there. But yeah, man. So let's go ahead and look at these stats. So we got Ty Simpson, the quarterback for Alabama. He was 23 for 43. He had 254 passing yards and 2 tubs. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just that, Florida State. Yeah, well, okay. Alabama's defense didn't even go all spectacular today. You know what I mean? Because Florida State, they really didn't even put up that many stats, to be honest. So Florida State had in total 152 passing yards, but this is the kicker. They ran the ball up and down Alabama's throat. They had 230. Oh man. 230 rushing yards? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. They had 2 centuries on these boys. That's crazy, man. So who did it? Oh, it was a combination. Okay, it was Tommy Castanelos, whatever his name is, and Micah Danzy. They combined together for over 100 yards. So it was a team effort on Florida State, running the ball up and down on Alabama, and Alabama just couldn't stop it. Alabama just could not stop it. Florida State really buckled down and held Alabama in place. You know what I'm talking about? So Alabama in total, they had 341 yards total, and to Florida State's 382. So it wasn't. It's a hard game to judge by the stats. You understand? It's a hard game to judge by the stats because it was a very even game, other than the rushing yards that Florida State just obliterated. For the most part, there wasn't even any turnovers. Florida State had 1 turnover, and Florida State won the time of possession by 30 minutes, well, by a couple of minutes. So, looking at these stats, you wouldn't be able to tell the tale of the game, but Alabama just struggled. Let's call it what it is. Alabama struggled throughout the entire day when it came to Florida State, much like Texas did. Archie Manning just had a pathetic showing today after everybody just raved about him on College Game Day. This was the most anticipated game in College Game Day history. You heard them all. Heard all the exaggerations, all the hyperbole, all the titles for this game, and it just didn't live up to it. It was a great defensive game. Ryan Day and Steve Sarkisian, they had a game plan for each other's offense, and they executed it for the most part. They limited big plays down the field. They tried to limit players reaching to the outside and bouncing it and making these fancy juke moves on the outside and everything like that. But it just all came down to the turnovers, what caused the game. And then Steve Sarkisian not kicking the field goals when he got down to the red zone. He got down to the red zone twice, and he went for it both times, and his team just failed. His team failed to convert on these plays, and it really cost them in the long run. It cost them momentum, and it cost Archie Manning confidence. You understand? Because you went for it on 4th down, and he didn't come anywhere close. On that 4th down QB sneak, Ohio State could have folded him up like a dirty laundry. Like, they could have folded him up like a sandwich, and they did. He was nowhere near, he was honestly further away after the play than he was before the play started to score that touchdown. That was the worst QB sneak I've ever seen in my life. He lost yards on a QB sneak. He's got a lot of work to do. Man. It's going to be a long season for him. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Texas schedule real quick because they are in for it, pal. They are in for it. You understand? That's man. It's not gonna be an easy Okay. We're almost there. Let's see. About to pull up Texas' schedule. All right. Here we go. So, first loss already to Ohio State. Next week, they can get in the win column to San Jose State. They can beat San Jose. They can put up 50 points on San Jose. If Archie Manning struggles against San Jose, just go ahead and bench him. Just go ahead and bench him. Take his Lambo. Take his stipend. And just go ahead and kick him out. They got UTEP after San Jose State. Then they got Sam Houston. Man, they got some cupcakes. So this Ohio State game was the game they was preparing for the most to start the season off with, because they can cruise through these next 3 games until they get to Florida, and then they got Oklahoma after that. They don't have to play Georgia until the tail end of their season. Texas kind of got an easy schedule. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked opponents. Ohio State was ranked number 3, but Florida, come on now. Oklahoma, they beat the smack out of Oklahoma last year. And, of course, they lost to Georgia 2 times last year. Texas got an easy schedule. I don't see how they don't make it back to the SEC championship with this schedule. If they lose to, let's see, of course they're going to lose to Georgia. I probably said that Texas A&M game, that was the game that everybody was looking at last year to see who was going to be in the SEC championship. Yeah, I say Texas goes back to the SEC championship at the end of the year, because they have an easy schedule, and the way that these college schedules are built now, you can afford to have a loss. You can afford to have 1 or 2 losses because you're playing some real good teams. You're trying to get rid of these cupcakes so you can have a better resume, so when the end of the season comes, you can say that, hey, we played the best people in the college football world. We deserve to be in the playoffs. So Texas got a long way to go. Let's look at some of the other teams that played today. LSU. I didn't think LSU was going to win today. I really didn't. Brian Kelly finally won a season opener for the first time in a couple of years against Clemson. I had Clemson winning. You know how it's just because it's hard to go into Death Valley on the road at night and win against Dabo Swinney. And somehow Brian Kelly did it. Brian Kelly pulled it out, man. His team went into Death Valley and won against Clemson. I didn't see it coming. So 17-10, very pedestrian game. Let's call it what it is. A very pedestrian game. Garrett Nussmeier. My boy only had 10 completions today. 10 completions, 28 completions for 38 attempts, 230 yards passing, 1 tub, no interceptions. He was helped on the ground. The team had over 108 yards rushing and the tub. So it was a very defensive game right here. You know what I'm talking about? Defenses ruled the rules. LSU had 2 sacks, 4 tackle for losses, and Clemson had 1 sack and 8 tackle for losses. So Clemson's defense was really getting after LSU during this game, making it hard for the Tigers, pick a Tiger, to advance the ball. This is what you want college football to be. It gets you right back into the thick of the tension that comes with it. Any little mistake can cost you the game, and that's essentially what happened. Well, LSU, no. Let's see. I don't know the quarterback for Clemson, but it looked like he threw an interception. Cade Klubnik, he threw a pick today. Ooh, he didn't have that too good of a game. His QBR was 31.4. He didn't have that good of a game. And he didn't have any help on the ground either. His team had 31 yards rushing on 20 attempts. That's 1.6 yards a carry if you're keeping score. And they still had a tub, though. So that tub kept them in the game. But for the most part, Clemson struggled. I don't know who's going to win the ACC out there. Now that Bill Belichick is out there in the Tar Heel Nation, Clemson better tighten up. You can't be affording to lose too many SEC games, man. You need these type of games to be on your resume if you're trying to get to the playoffs. Now, of course, you want to win your conference. But if you can't win your conference, you also want to have a good resume. That's the most important thing. Have a good resume so you can get in those playoffs. It's hard, man. Ask them boys who was watching from the outside last year. Ask Alabama. They was watching from the outside last year. Oh, Florida State. Yeah, I was one of them boys. Yeah, they stormed the field. Florida State stormed the field after the game. That was pretty cool to watch. College football is back. College football is back. Them boys stormed the field after the game, and it was, ooh, man, you know what I'm talking about? It's back, baby. It's back. Let's see what else we got. We got Virginia Tech and South Carolina tomorrow. They play at 3. I will be watching that game. Let's see. Missouri beat the dog snot out of Central Arkansas. Man, it's so ugly. I don't even like talking about these games because, of course. Auburn took on Baylor 38-24. Auburn starts the season off 1-0. Something that Alabama is not doing this year. Jackson Arnold, he had 11 completions for 17 attempts, 108 yards passing, no interceptions, no tubs. Jackson Arnold also ran up and down the field on them boys. He had 137 yards rushing and 2 tubs. So Jackson Arnold is looking to be the next Cam Newton for Auburn. I mean, of course, he did this against Baylor. I like Baylor. They had the little boy before he got stuck in the sunken place. And Auburn had some hitters out there too. They had 4 sacks and 5 tackles for losses. So Auburn coming up real smooth on Alabama now. That's going to be an interesting game. The Iron Bowl is going to be very interesting this year. The Iron Bowl is going to be real interesting. And, of course, when Auburn plays Georgia, they're going to figure out what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. They're going to get it together real quick. Because you know Georgia, man. We get people together. It's been a real fun day for football. You know what I'm talking about? It's back. We finally got some football to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? SEC went strong today besides Texas and Alabama. LSU brought it up on the rear today against Clemson, and that's what we like to see. You know what I'm talking about? Florida beat Long Island University. I didn't even know Long Island had a university. Oklahoma beat Illinois State 35-3. Texas A&M beat UTSA 42-24. And, of course, my alma mater, Georgia State, got the dog snot beat out of them by Ole Miss. Yeah. 63-7. Georgia State scored a touchdown at least on Ole Miss. I remember there was a time not too long ago when Georgia State beat up Tennessee. All right, Tennessee beat up on Syracuse 45-26. Wham. Mississippi State beat up on Southern Miss 34-17. Now that's kind of funny. You almost struggled with that one. Kentucky beat up on Toledo 24-16. I hope Kentucky doesn't finish at the bottom. And Arkansas beat up on Alabama State 52-7. Vanderbilt beat up on Charleston Southern 45-3. So we're gonna get into probably I say about like week 3, week 4 when it's SEC games. You know, when teams playing against each other. Right now, everybody just getting into the groove of the game of the season, playing these little cupcakes. Yep. We got week 3. We got Vanderbilt versus South Carolina, Arkansas versus Ole Miss, Georgia versus Tennessee. Oh man. Starting the season off with the, ooh, baby. Week 3 going to be a doozy, y'all. We definitely going live for that one. You already know how we do it, man. We going live. Send in those gifts if you want to see the game. You know what I'm talking about? Georgia taking on Tennessee. To start the season off, our closest rival. Oh, we still got to play Alabama, Texas, and Florida, and Tech. So, We all know that all roads lead through Georgia when it comes to the SEC, man. If you want to win it, you got to come to Georgia because it's played here in the city. And, of course, if you want to win it, you got to go through Georgia. Because, as we saw, Archie Manning shit the bed today. And Alabama does. The Nick Saban era is over. The Nick Saban era is over. Jalen Milroe's in the NFL. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I feel like LSU right now is gonna be coming out strong out the West. I still like Alabama. I'm still gonna be worried about Tennessee. Gonna be watching Tennessee, and of course we're gonna be watching our boys down south in Florida, man. We're gonna have to watch Florida because I don't like Bill Napier, but I do like their quarterback DJ Lagway. So we're gonna see what he does when it comes down to Halloween season, my birthday season. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna see how this season plays out, man. We got football. We got football, baby. And it don't get no more excited than this. You know what I'm talking about? We can talk about football all day to Sunday because Sunday's already here. Y'all know how I do it. So next week we got a slew of games that we're going to be covering. Georgia plays Austin, I don't know, Peoria, whatever that is. We got Ole Miss versus Kentucky. Ole Miss is ranked. Ole Miss is ranked, man. Ole Miss is ranked. So I might be live streaming that game right there. Ole Miss versus Kentucky. It's the SEC champ. It's not an SEC championship game. It's an SEC matchup. Let me get these words correct. It's an SEC matchup. It's one of the first SEC matchups that we have of the season. It is, actually, because Alabama plays UL Monroe, Vanderbilt plays Virginia Tech, Auburn plays Ball State, Oklahoma plays Michigan. Ooh. Very interesting. Michigan plays Oklahoma. It's not a SEC matchup, but it is a top 25 matchup. Mississippi State plays Arizona State. LSU plays Louisiana Tech. South Carolina plays South Carolina State. Arkansas plays Arkansas State. Florida plays South Florida. And Missouri plays Kansas. So it's a lot of boring games next week. So we're going to tune into that Ole Miss versus Kentucky game. And we're going to tune into that Oklahoma versus Michigan game next week. I feel like Michigan probably might be the only team that can beat Ohio State at this point. Because Ohio State has a very strong defense. Ohio State, they had Archie Manning in the blender. Now, granted, it's not going to be every week that you're going to be playing a quarterback who's going to be starting for the first time in your house. So we're going to keep our eyes on that development. We don't like Ohio State, and we damn sure don't like no bitch-ass Notre Dames. Fuck the Fighting Irish. Fuck Lucky Charms. Fuck the little nigga that's coaching for the motherfuckers who look like Drake. Fuck the Irish. You understand what I'm saying? This the doghouse. We some big dogs around here. We see some leprechauns. We gonna tear that ass up. 4-leaf clovers, all that. We gonna tear that ass up. So again, fuck Notre Dame. You know what I'm talking about? This is doghouse. I ain't got no more to say, man. It's been a good day for football. We're gonna see y'all next week. Y'all tap back in, like, subscribe, share, comment. Check out my page. I've been dropping videos all day, reacting to the games that's been going on. So y'all go back and check out those videos, share them with your friends. Other than that, I thank y'all for joining me, man. We're going to see y'all next week, man. All right, peace.